Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heartworm, a new game. Actually, a game that kind of remind me of reminded me of uh, some sort of a old game from PlayStation 1, maybe PlayStation 2 era. So I thought it would be a good idea to play it, just because that was probably my most favorite part of gaming was that early era of PlayStation. Uh, just because you can tell what you were staring at, so it made it more kind of when you were staring off at something in the distance, it was more like shock or creepier because you couldn't see what it was. You couldn't tell because the outlines were not as. I mean, they were jaggy, but it's like the textures were really bad. The textures were really bad at this point, and then so when you were staring at something and it was staring back at you, you'd be freaked out. But now in modern games, it's more like, oh, I know who he is. Oh, he looks like that. Oh, he's so ugly. The creepy part about games is having the bad guy close to you and not know it, and then finding out later. Not because he attacked you, just because he like moved, and you're like, oh snaps, or oh crap, I let him get that close to me, and I know that he's slinking around or moving around me. So now that I know that he's there, I know he's moving around me, and I gotta be more careful, and that just makes your you get more scared instead of just, oh, he jumped out at me, because you're building tension when this is going on. But so yeah, this is the reason why I thought this was a good game just to pick up. I'm gonna be playing it I wanted something that was kind of not true horror, because I know that sometimes some games are like, there's a mystery, here, and you have to find it. There's horror, there's a mystery behind the horror. You're being chased for a reason, and all of your suffering is for something than just getting jump scared and crapping your pants. But like, I don't know. I have like trouble just getting into a horror game that doesn't really have a reason. Like, I'll do it later on probably, but it's dependent on how I feel about the setting of the game, and just But we're gonna be doing this one. I just wanted to let the cinematic play, just to get you guys a good Sorry guys, that was my watch. Okay, so that's telling me my watch is telling me to get on with it. So modern subtitles. So that thing up in front in the middle of the camera right now, the fuzzy, the grainy thing, just like a monster, but I don't know. Looks freaky. So yeah, we're gonna just take this. I think it's pretty good. We're gonna do challenging. Or how do you? Okay. I think I picked challenging. I think the green one was the right one to pick. November 5th, 8 p.m. at the Cafe 9.
Hey, sorry you haven't heard from me in a while. I've been busy trying to find out about this
Busy
place.
stalking somebody.
You're not gonna believe me, and I don't even know if I really believe it myself, but I guess a part of me must, because I'm going. It's far, on an abandoned road, a few miles from that power plant in the mountains.
Sounds cozy.
It was hard to find anything about it. I started on message boards, and I ended up in a chat room talking with people who know people
And you're weird.
who know people who've gone. They said
I don't think they've ever gone. Nobody's ever gone. I think you're the first person that like.
Is that in that house there's a room that can take you to the other side to see the people that you've lost again. The thing is, no one who's gone.
The door that takes you to the other side that lets you see your people once again is death.
Not for advice,
that is the door.
Not to get you to talk me out of going.
There is no other.
Actually, by the time you read this, I'll already be there. I just wanted to let you know, in case I don't come back. That way you won't be wondering where I've gone.
She's so weird.
Either way, you don't have to worry about me anymore.
She's so weird because it's like, you know, I mean, if you wanted to do that, you could have just jumped off a bridge. You didn't have to go to his house.
I just can't keep going on not knowing.
I like that factory. That's one cool factory. Alright, we're gonna finally get to... So, survival guide, movement. Left analog stick moves you around. You can run by holding left circle. Green left circle while moving forward. If you are using modern controls, you will always run, and the joystick will control your speed depending on how far it's pushed. Exit right white circle. Okay, that's cool. Survival guide, interaction and equipment. You can interact with many items of the world by pressing downwards. Green circle. Some will stand out more than others. You can equip or use some items you find, such as your camera. After you've picked it up, open your inventory with upwards green circle. Select the camera and then select the equip action. Exit white circle. So this game reminds me of like... No, I will leave it there. That's the reason I interacted with it. It's got some old stuff, like old I'm trying to I'm trying to manipulate it here. Thank you. It's got some old stuff, vibe stuff, like having to combine items in the inventory, getting asked.
I wonder if I spend more time thinking about death than the average person.
You do. I can tell you that.
My grandfather died a while back. I know it happens to everyone, but it almost feels like I'm obsessed. It's frustrating. No matter what I try, my thoughts always circle back to the one thing I can't control: my own mortality. I came all the way out here not knowing if I'll get the answers I need. I just hope it's worth it.
So yeah, I keep some stuff from the older games, like getting asked, would you like to take this? Would you like to combine? That's fine. I just kind of mock it a little bit, but I kind of like the old. Also, back to what she said, you can control your own mortality. You just don't walk into an abandoned house and then without any weapons or supplies and then be like, oh, everything is gonna be okay. Everything will be okay. I just hope for the best. It's blocked off. Like getting here. I hope for the best. Let me just actually, I forgot to equip this thing. Not that it's gonna help me at all, other than just taking pictures of the guy who's gonna stab me. The windows are all boarded up. It's too dark to see anything through the cracks. Okay, that's good. You could blow out a flashlight, number 1, on your, and then, flashlight and firearm or something. It's too dark to see anything through the cracks. Diary, Pleasure Beach, number 1. I finally went to explore Pleasure Beach today. It was been on my list forever, and the forecast was perfect, but unsurprising, I ended up in over my head. When I got there, everything was pretty normal. There were folks on the shore having a picnic. Sorry, guys. There We're focused on shore, having a picnic, enjoying the beautiful summer day and the usual kids messing around on the playground across the street. I grabbed my camera, I locked my car, and I started making my way across the land bridge. It took maybe 30 minutes to cross, longer than I expected. The island seemed to be completely empty, so I began searching through the abandoned homes, confident in my solitude. So many of them were destroyed, roofs and walls collapsed from years of disregard, some houses so decrepit I couldn't even enter. But there was just enough left that I began to really feel bad for these people. They had no time to pack and leave. Finally, photos were strewn across the floors, and belongings were still packed in drawers. I even saw a table that looked like it had been set for dinner. However, many years ago, my sympathy turned to suspicion as I ventured further. Many of the houses had the same red graffiti in their attics, markings and symbols I had never seen before. I assumed it was just from kids messing around, but something about it began to trigger my paranoia. I was gonna say my passion, but yeah. I noticed the sun was setting as I reached the end of the residential area. It was strange. I could have sworn it had been only a couple of hours the last time. Sorry, I could have sworn it had only been. I could have sworn it had only been a couple of hours the last time I checked my watch. It was before noon, but now the clock read 7:30 p.m. I brushed it off as just losing track of time. It was frustrating. I hadn't even gotten to half the town, but I knew I had to head back. The land bridge would be submerged soon if it wasn't already. Sure enough, as I turned the corner to where I had entered earlier, I was greeted by nothing but the sea. The entire land bridge was underwater. I was stuck and alone, or so I thought. Exit. Okay, so that guy, he did so many things wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure this guy might be the butt stabber, the guy who's gonna, stab her in the back, murder her. So, cause I don't know, I just get that feeling from I haven't played the game before, guys. So if it turns out to be true, you guys can be like, oh, he played the game, and then he knows what's gonna happen. But yeah, it seems like she's repeating the same mistake this guy was repeating, or I mean, this guy was doing because that guy didn't have a flashlight. Why the heck don't you have a flashlight? Have something to see, and then some other, you can do something with your left hand, with your right hand, or I wouldn't put it on my right, I put it on my left. But see, this gives me the Resident Evil vibe, or sorry, feeling. Oh, what are you doing? Take a picture. Take a picture. Oh. Yeah, some areas are too dark to see without help. You can use the camera flash without consuming ammo by not aiming and pressing RB. Yeah, I didn't aim. Awesome. So let's see. It's tank. That's what it is. Just don't end. I don't know. I give up. Pleasure Beach. It's the same guy. This guy's a murderer, guys. I'm telling you. It was darker than any night I could remember. The island was far off shore. That there was no light, pollution, and almost no time. I was wandering in the pitch blackness. It was cold too. The breeze coming over the water contrasted heavily with the mild weather earlier that day. I didn't have much of a plan, but I knew that if I was stuck, I would have to find a way to stay warm. I made my way back to the houses, which were much more terrifying in the night. I turned to look down the street, and a froze mid-step. I could barely see due to the lack of light, but it looked like another person was standing there right in the middle of the street staring at me motionless. I tried to rationalize, but in that situation my sanity was already being tested. I called out to them with a strained hello, praying to God that it was just some teenager, not whatever nightmare my mind was conjuring. No response, no movement, nothing. I looked around and noticed some of the windows in the attics of the houses looked like there was dim light coming from them. Candles maybe? But I had been here all day. I didn't see anyone. Sorry. I didn't see anyone. It didn't make any sense. That's kind of weird. Sorry, guys. I had to emphasize it, okay? As every possible scenario, none of which seemed to be the end to end well for me. I mean, you're stuck on an island with a bunch of randos. and you have no supplies, I mean, I would have taken anything, even a little bitty flashlight, just because wandering out of the, I mean, if you're in the pitch black darkness and you get a little light, it'll light up a lot. You'll be surprised. That doesn't work usually in rural area. I mean, um, in more urban areas because there's a lot more ambient lighting. So you're like, oh, this thing sucks. But I mean, compared to pitch black, wandering around the pitch blackness, I'd rather have like any light, any sort of light. Even a lighter would help. Um, so none of them seemed to end well for me. Raced through my mind. One rational thought broke through and reminded me, I had my camera. I had my camera. I could trigger the flash on demand without using the little film I had left in my surroundings. I mean, thank God I'm a journalist. I was so scared almost. I didn't want to. What if there was really something there and I'm using my camera would only alter it? Alerted to my presence. Finally, I pressed the flash trigger. Everything around me lit up and I saw nothing. The figure in the door was gone and the light coming from the windows was gone. It was just a silent, long, dead town and me. The rest of the night was uneventful. I used my camera flash to navigate the ruins, found the closest house with 4 intact walls, locked the door to one of the bedrooms, and fell asleep against the wall. I woke up the next morning and booked it back across the land bridge. I don't think I'll be going back to Pleasure Beach. I mean, it doesn't sound too pleasurable. If you do, what is this? The closet full of junk, nothing important. Oh, I thought that was like a bunch of doors. Okay, this is like a safe room. Can we turn off the lights? No. And then some guy was recently here because there's like a lit cig here. And this looks like someone who was just here because there's like an open book but it's of course it's nonsense because it's like if there was someone here then we would have run into them already. The shelves are stocked. Almost anything you could want to read is here. So many books. If I had more time, I could enjoy it here. Survival guide, item boxes. Inventory space is limited. Item boxes can store items until you need them. Each item box is connected to every other, so they all share the same items. It's best to only carry what you need. See, that's the thing about surviving. You don't know what you need until you need it. You have a general sense of what you need, but you don't really know exactly what you need. Like, if you're packing, you're packing, to go camping, and then you end up in a survival situation. You might find the cabin out there. Should you pick lockpicks? Maybe the cabin, maybe there's stuff in the cabin. Should you pick the lock? Should you pack lockpicks, or should you just pack better stuff you can use to stay in the woods? I don't know. I mean that's kind of a forced example, but it's kind of like leave that guy alone. This is probably not something I want. I will take this though. I don't know why the heck I would need more film. Maybe that's what hurts the monster. That's your ammunition or something. I'll keep this. Just in case. Because I don't see myself smoking anything. What is this? So I had booted up the game just to get to get it to work. But there is a save file there, but just what's it called? I had trouble getting the mic to work again for whatever reason. What the heck? For whatever reason. Oh, let's say hi. Hi. What happened? That's weird. She didn't even want to talk to us. She just disappeared into thin air. She really didn't like us. Anyways, let's see. Follows journal number 1. I finally put the pieces together the day you asked where John was. At first I was confused, thinking maybe you forgot this exact address and wanted to send a letter. I laughed and replied with the address of the home our son had been living in for the past few years with his wife and our new grandchild. I won't ever forget the look you gave me. Perplexed and confused, you asked, "What is he doing there?" When I told you that he moved there for his job, the expression on your face darkened. You could see that something wasn't adding up for you, but you just slowly shook your head and walked away. How could you forget that? I knew we were both getting on in years, forgetting that things were understandable, but we had gone to meet our granddaughter only months ago. I wanted to believe it was just a momentary confusion. To this day, I still wish it was right. So she was getting dementia. This is such a big room. Oh, what the heck? Wait up. There's like a hole in the freaking... Hi. Becker's completely overgrown. Oh, you can't. I thought you could get out. What the heck? I thought you could, let's check out the kitchen. Maybe they have some decent eats. Cabinets for rotted food scattered throughout them. No. Cabinets have rotten food scattered throughout them. Same thing. That looks like a rat right there. That looks like a rat. It's ratty right there, see? He doesn't move, he's just there, happy. Doing nothing. Paid me to open this fridge, been not my first rodeo, okay. I mean, they could have had something. I mean, there's a guy living here. Like, that looks like you can get through it, but... That looks like you can get through it, but... If I know, heck if I know. Let's just flash everything, flash everybody. Nothing particularly noteworthy. I'm just gonna be rocking around flashing people. Because if not, then it'll be boring. Let's see, combining guide. I know how to combine stuff. Combining. Select an item in your inventory. Choose combine from the context menu and select the second item to combine with it. For example, you can use bandages and antiseptic on their own, or combine them to create a first aid kit, which heals for a larger amount. I think I'm gonna do that. Let's see that. Can you get it? Yes. Will you take it? Yes, I will take it. Will you not take it? There you go. Will you combine this with this? Can I? I'm trying to. It's not letting me move it. Okay, there you go. No, don't use it. We're fine. Yeah, half more junk, half box junk. Some diningware. I still don't understand how she's so blasé about, you know, about this is the front door. It won't budge. Wow, how? Sorry guys. How? Wow, and how? Because I don't understand. I mean, it won't budge. How? Did they nail it shut? There's like almost no way to, you know. Also, you should have brought some tools with you. That way, you know, you could get by stuff like that. You know, you'd think that you'd do that. You'd think you would do that, but no. Everything's. Wait, I'm sorry, guys. All of these paintings seem to be of the same place. A massive library. Yeah, this house probably. With all these books. There's mess. Most of the books are destroyed. Did they get looted or something? But everything's so boarded up and not slash undisturbed. Father's journal number deuce. We went to see a doctor today. At last, it's hard to make it out all the way to the city. When we were younger, it seemed like such a charming idea to have a house so isolated. It was our own little world. Now just getting groceries in town is a hassle. I made the appointment and I made sure you were ready to go. I could tell you didn't know why we had to. You didn't think anything was wrong. I've always had my head in the clouds. I'm fine. You're overreacting. I'm fine. You're overreacting. You should tell me, or you would tell me over and over. I didn't even want to think about whether you remember the reason why this was necessary. We were waiting on the scan results now. But based on how you were with the doctor, I'm not hopeful. You had trouble answering his questions and kept looking at me for answers. God, why is this happening so fast? I held your hand over the stick shift as I drove home while you cried softly to yourself. I can't help but hate myself for thinking it, but I think we're close to the end. How did this happen so quickly? Only months ago, sounds of your singing filled the house so you tidied up. As you tidied up, did the dishes cook this dinner? Now you barely get out of bed. Something inside of you has broken. Half the time you look at me and see a stranger, but you won't acknowledge it. You just turn over in the bed and try and go back to sleep. I wonder what you dream of. I hope it's of the last fragments of our beautiful life together. You're gonna be disappointed, bro. Disappointed. Dementia is not fun. Let's see. Everything looks shiny, so I keep thinking it's like everything is interactable, but it's not. I just keep flashing everybody. Everybody likes to get flashed, so. You know, you'd think they'd do something freaky with the mirror, but it's just a mirror. It doesn't do anything. Whoops, sorry guys. I'm trying to like, yeah, go in here. Take it, yes. Take it. Yeah, again. No freaking. No weapons, no tools. Not even non-lethals, nothing. Zilch. Okay, can we go up here? Yes. I need to head up. Oh my goodness. Survival guide map. You know how to use your map, guys? You know how to use your map? You use your map by looking at it. That's how you use your map. You can access the map from your inventory by pressing back. I know how to access the map. I know. New areas you enter are automatically tracked, and you can gauge your level of completion based on the amount of static covering them. If there is still static over the room, there's more to be done there. I could have figured that out by myself, honestly. That was not helpful. I'm guessing the developer likes clocks because there's one here. Again, weapon here, right here, or something. Something. It's just something. Give me something. I unlocked it. What the heck is this? Oh, this is the. Yeah, this is. What the? That's a weird angle. See, there's some sticks on the ground. She could pick them up and then be good to go, but no. Again, would appreciate some sort of a flashlight. I mean, it doesn't have to be tactical. It just has to be something that you can look around with. Instead of using this dang camera doing... Did I go here? I don't remember anymore. Oh man, this house is huge. It's locked. It's collapsed. What about you? I gotta head back to the safe room so I can be safe before I get butt stabbed in the I might read this and then we can go a little bit. Father's journal number 3. I am alone in this house now. All I have left are the keepsakes of a long life together. Oh Rose, looking at your young face, smiling and laughing on grainy film is a poison that sours my heart by the day. Seeing you alive, but knowing you are gone is more than I can bear. At least I have our memories. Okay. Is this the door right here? It looks like a door. Looks like some sort of witchcraft here was happening. There's so many colors, so I assume that there was some witchcraft. Some black magic. How was it? Man, that's lame. I keep assuming that I keep thinking someone's gonna just come and get me. But man, this thing doesn't stop. Flash him, flash everybody. Yeah, I'm like hitting. There's an old. These are all but pretty stylish Too bad they're falling apart. Yeah, I don't care. I wouldn't care. Honestly, if I was in one of these situations, I wouldn't care. The drawers are mostly empty aside from the collection of dead bug. Those are nutrients. Eat them. The drawers are mostly empty aside from the collection of a dead bug. Drawers are empty from the collection of dead bug. Junk in something. Junk in these boxes. It's hard to say if these clothes were ever nice. They're mostly mold now. I mean, I guess, but if everything's so boarded up, why would it be moldy? Empty pill bottles and some serious medical equipment. Bingo. Take it. I don't think Flash lasts that long in a room, but yeah. But a huge bed draped in stale sheets that haven't moved in years. That's cool. Nothing interesting in that nightstand. So they have nothing. Literally nothing. What the heck is this? It's just a... I got excited. I'm like, oh, some sort of a weapon yep, some sort of a weapon. Guess the person who lived here didn't... Okay. All this nice hardwood furniture rotting away. What a shame. Guess the person who lived here didn't care about what he was leaving behind. I don't think he had a choice. He just died. You know, like everybody else dies. Sometimes suddenly. Sometimes young, sometimes old. Okay, I'm gonna... I forget if I'm upstairs or downstairs. Upstairs, okay. So I'm gonna head back to the room. I think this is the way. I mean, if she just wants, she could just scrawl on the freaking... in the room. You know, back to living room. Door back to living room. Door back to... Is this it? Probably not. I think it was the other one. I was wrong. Okay, I'm glad to be wrong. Let's save it. Boom. Yes. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna be doing more episodes of this game, and I hope you guys like it. I like it. I mean, like I said, it reminds me of the older games that I've played before. It just is that kind of style. Not exactly the same, but I mean it's similar. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and if you did enjoy the episode, that you give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel because it'll really help me out to grow the channel and continue to make content and perhaps get better at it than I am now. Thank you for your support, and I will see you guys on the next one.